Welcome to Finance to Futurist.
We used to say cash is king, but you know what? Data is king these days, because what we used to find was that you would get the information in front of you, you would make your calls that week or that month, and you would collect your cash, and then you would repeat it all over again. And very often the collection of that data wasn't possible. Just simply the technology wasn't there, or the technology was prioritized elsewhere. So as a credit manager in sort of, the early 2000s, you really only had what was in front of you and maybe what was in a month or two behind. And it only really spanned your customers. So you were really just repeating the same process, expecting to get the same outcomes. Now, for me, using the data lake, as I did in my previous role, what that meant was that I could look at the information that was available to me, which had a much wider span. So I wasn't just looking at how my customers were behaving in my interactions, but I had insights into how they were behaving with others. Now, you might ask, well, you can get that from credit reference agencies. And yeah, you absolutely can. But where I see a difference for this type of data is that this information is up to date as of now. It's not reliant on self-reporting, and it's not reliant on particular algorithms or modeling treatments that credit reference agencies might put in place. So all of that difference and all that ability of data enabled me and my teams to be able to make the best of our contributors. So whether it was people within our departments or within our sales teams who we wanted to be able to say, hey, look at the complexion of this customer, look at their behavioral insights, let's see if we can do something different to improve the relationship. Can we grow sales? Can we reduce debt? Can we make the customer happy? And if you've got the information around what that customer's buying, what that customer's doing with those invoices, are they happy with the invoices? Are they paying them on time? Are they paying them with a delay? What kind of a delay? Do you know why that delay? All of that richness of information enables you to, when you're next talking to that customer, know where they're at. So the one thing that I've heard time and time again is the job of an order to cash process is to get the best out of somebody else's procure to pay process. Because when those two processes work in concert, the cash flows in the way that both the buyer and the seller intended it to. So once you've got that level of understanding and you're approaching your customers, you can then empathize with them, because you know perhaps the strengths or weaknesses your relationship has. A lot of times it's played out with invoices, and a lot of time it's played out whether an invoice is disputed, is it well understood. So for me, that level of data is actually more important than what their last balance sheet said or what their P&L 6 months ago said. It's how do you actually make the best out of that whole relationship with your customer.